Hello, guys. All right, here's the deal. You get me looking like a dang slob. Because we just got home today. We had Capri's doctor's appointment with her liver doctor, and she had her blood drawn, and it was just kind of like, you know, it was just a day, right? Like, and we're just emotionally exhausted. It went fine. I mean, it was fine, but I just feel tired and I just want to be in my comfies. Tyson laughed at me because we literally walked in the house and he didn't even get everything in from the car, and he walked in and I was already in my basically pajamas. He was like, geez, you didn't waste no time getting those pajamas on. I was like, no, I just want to be, it's like snowing outside. It's just been a day and I just want to be comfy. And then also going into that, I was going to today, for today's episode, share and talk about like getting pregnant with Creed and not having like a cycle and stuff like that, because a few people were asking for that after I kind of briefly shared that 2 weeks ago. But if I'm being honest, I just want a lighthearted podcast for today after, just feeling a little, I don't know what the word is, like when you just, we had to meet with her doctors and she had her blood drawn, and that's never good. And it was just a little bit stressful. And so, yeah, I just need like a lighthearted podcast today. Next week, we'll get deep and talk about that. So I thought it would be fun. This is very random, but last week's was very random. And I had so many people message me on Instagram and say like, I loved that episode where you just talked about anything and everything. So I thought it would be fun to do a podcast on things you will never see me do. And I come up with a pretty good list, actually, very random. And before it's going to be like some of those random things. But just before I start, I have to share a disclaimer. Just because it means that I will never do it doesn't mean I'm shaming it, doesn't mean that I'm judging you if you do it. Like, you guys, there's so many things that I do that there's other people out there who's like, I would never do that. And I get it. Like, for instance, I had several people message me after I shared that we threw out our microwave. And they were like, I could never throw out my microwave. That's fine. That's totally fine. We can still be friends. So, with that being said, these are just things you will never see Hailey do. First on the list is cold plunging. Yes, I am, I like my health stuff. I like my red light. I like my vibration plate. I like to work out. I like to eat clean. I like to drink water. I like to exercise. But I like to sauna. But you will never see me cold plunge. I don't care how good it is for me. I do not care. If you know me, you know that there is nothing worse in this entire world than being cold. And I feel like I am always cold. And if I'm cold, I am absolutely miserable. And so why on earth would I do that to myself? I know it's good for me, but there's just a line that I draw. And that is not one that I'm willing to cross. So you're never going to see me cold plunge. I did for a little bit go on this spurt where, so I like, this kind of contradicts what I'm saying, but I did for a little bit. Do you guys remember when I would sauna and then I would go upstairs and take like a cold shower? I mean, it was like a minute 30 long usually, and it wasn't even the coldest that the shower would go, but it was cold to me. And it did refresh, like wake you up and refresh you, and you felt really good after it. But like in a bathtub that's 40 degrees, sitting in that, no, you'll never see me do that. This one's very blunt and out there, but you will never see me. Things that I will never do is get drunk. I don't know the last time that I could say I was like drunk, but it's been a very long time. I don't really like alcohol. And getting drunk sounds like the worst thing in the world to me. And I just will never do it. I have absolutely zero desire to drink enough alcohol that I am drunk. Like when Tyson and I we had our little date night last weekend, and I did have a glass of wine. I didn't even drink it all. And that was like enough for me. Like I like to maybe sip on something for a little social hour before we get our meal, or sometimes I'll have like a martini. I usually do not drink my drinks. Tyson always makes fun of me because he's like, you could literally spend $8 on a drink and it would last you 3 days. You would get the best $8 out of that drink because it's going to last you forever. Like I just like to sip like tiny little sips on some. And honestly, I like the mocktails better than the actual drinks anyway. If there's a restaurant that has really good mocktails, I love that restaurant. So anyway, very random, but things I will probably never do again. I truly don't ever see myself getting drunk again. I just don't have a desire. I think it sounds like a terrible idea. And I just don't even like alcohol. So anyway, another thing you will never see Hailey do is add hot sauce to her food. Ew, gross. No. I hate spice. I hate the flavor of hot sauce. I hate the flavor of jalapenos. I hate anything that makes my tongue feel on fire. And I just don't like anything hot. We get mild salsa around here. We don't even get the medium. I get the mild sausage at the grocery store because I don't like the hot sausage. We're not a huge, my brother and my sister-in-law were making fun of us the other day because they put hot sauce and they like spice and everything like that. And they like made this meal and she used hot sausage and like some stuffed mushrooms and they were so good. But I was like, whew, my tongue's like kind of on fire. And she's like, huh? I'm like, that's a little bit spicy to me. And she's like, you're joking. And I was like, no. Like I'm a baby when it comes to spicy food. And so you will never see me add hot sauce to my food. I think you guys all know this about me, but you will never see me get Botox. You will never see me get any sort of cosmetic surgery done or anything like that. It doesn't feel right with me. I don't know. I guess I'm just like very content with how God made me. Do I have great boobies? No. They are not great, especially after 2 kids. I have like an A and they're even deflated. But you know what? I have zero desire to change that. I'm just happy. I'm content. I have wrinkles. Like, see, I'm smiling. I have like those lines right here. Or like, see those wrinkles on my forehead? I don't care. Like, I firmly believe that is how we are supposed to be. Like, we are not supposed to look like a plastic Barbie doll on the Walmart shelf. And so I think I've talked about this before, but it's my faith too. Like, I'm just so, I don't know. My faith has grown so much within myself that I think it's a conviction with the Holy Spirit in me that I just feel very, very good with where I'm at. And it doesn't sit right with me to try and change things about the way like I look, like a cosmetic way or like a permanent way, like trying to not, trying to get rid of wrinkles or trying to get bigger lips or bigger breasts or, anything like that. Again, if it's something you do, we can still be friends. That's fine. But that's one thing. 2 things you will never see Hailey do is getting Botox or anything cosmetic done. Another one, this kind of goes with the drinking, but you will never ever see me smoke anything. I've never put anything to my lips of a smoking type. I've never tried a cigarette. I've never taken a puff of anything. I have zero desire to. And yeah, that's just one thing I know I will be able to die and say, I never ever have tried smoking anything. This was a very random one, and I don't know how I thought of this, but you will never ever catch Hailey swimming with sharks. You know those people that like go on these excursions when they go to these places and you can do like the swimming with sharks excursions, and they, you sign like, I'm sure you sign like a waiver, like they tell you like people do it all the time. These sharks, they're not going to hurt you, and there's these brave frickin' people out there believing that these sharks that are an animal that you have no control over at any point, that they will never harm you. And maybe they never have, but I would not be getting off that boat. I can guarantee it. I don't care. You couldn't convince me. There's no way. There's no way. I will watch my friends swim with sharks and cheer them on and take their picture. But I do not trust them enough. I wouldn't even put my toe in. Like, I have no control over what that animal thinks. Maybe that shark developed a disorder overnight, or it's having brain problems. It's getting older, and all of a sudden it instantly decides it wants to eat the human, or it got a scent of blood from something and all of a sudden it becomes hungry. It would take one time, and boom, I'd be gone forever. You're never going to see me swim with sharks. And those of you that do, go you. Another thing you will never ever see me do again, I did this in the past, but you'll never ever see me do it now, is go back to like MLM type stuff. And you guys, guess what? It's not because I dislike it. I still think that I have nothing against MLMs or the whole like coaching or you having a team and people below you, being a part of a company where you mentor, things like that. Like, I have nothing against that. I still like, if you are a person that does that, and I have friends that are crushing it in a new multi-level marketing business, running teams, being partner, whatever it may be, walking stages, things like that. I have no desire for it anymore. No desire. It's just, I got it out of my system. I loved it when I did it, but I just have absolutely zero desire to go back to that. I'm so content and happy with how life is, and I don't want to go back to having to mentor and be on this team call at this time and meet these goals by the end of this month. And just the pressure and the responsibility, I'm done with it. I don't have a desire to go back to that. Again, the time that I did it, it was great. I wouldn't take that back for anything, but you'll know. Yeah, that was my season of doing it, and I'm done, and I don't think I'll ever do it again. I know I won't ever do it again. So yeah, that was a little fun fact. Oh, this is kind of random too. Now, I don't really know how to explain this, but eating or drinking anything that is like bright colored, because here's the thing. I've developed this huge ick for dyes, like red 40, yellow, whatever, blue 10, whatever it is, those dyes that are so ungodly bad for us. I've gotten like this ick now, and I can just spot it. I can spot it in anything. My son brought home a blue candy cane the other day, and I was like, that thing's filled with dyes. Or like the other day, he begged me for a box of Lucky Charms, and I was like, okay, one time, Hailey, just let your kids have one box of Lucky Charms. It's been years since you've allowed them to have not so great cereal. So I was like, okay. And the marshmallows that are bright colors, and it's like dyeing their tongues blue. And I'm like, oh, why? Ew, gross. So yeah, now I can like, for me, I try to have a little bit of like balance with the kids. I would say 80 to 90% of the time, I don't really like, we don't have that stuff in our house. I try to stay away from it. That's why I also love Thrive Market. This is not an ad, but that's why I love Thrive Market, is because they have so many snack options and food options that are dye-free. But every once in a while, I try to just look the other way and let them be kids and not be crazy. So yeah, but anyway, for me, I'm like, I don't even want it. I don't stay away from me. If it is bright orange or bright red or bright blue, any kind of like candy or drink, I'm just like, no. No thanks. Oh, this is a random one too. Something you will never ever ever see Hailey do is complain about food at a restaurant. So I don't think I could ever get myself to do this. I know people, like I've been with people, and I know people who have no problem if they're not satisfied with their food, or they order a steak and it's not done exactly how they ordered it, they will send it back and they will ask for a new one, and they will tell you how they feel about that. And their fight for that is, well, I'm paying for it. I want it how I got it. My thought is, these people are serving me. Like, if I want my food exactly the way I want it, I can go home and cook it that way. I should send my butt home and cook it that way. These people are serving me. It's like a luxury to be at a restaurant and having food cooked and served to you, even if you're paying for it. And so I just see it as like, you know what? Thanks. It might not be the best meal I've had, but thanks. And then on top of that, the people who complain to the waitress, or like give the waitress a hard time because their food was not exactly how they wanted it. Like, dude, she has no idea. She has no control over that food. She didn't do anything with that food. She brought it from the kitchen to you, and then she has to take the grunt for that. I don't know. You'll never see me. You guys, I've had it. I've had it where my food was either like not done, or it was like overcooked or burnt, or like it wasn't what I ordered. I've had it's all happened, right? And I just like, I can't speak up and and throw a fit, or even like just complain. I'm just like, you know what? It'll be fine. And I think that's just because I'm so type B, and so is Tyson. We are the most tight. We're like double B. Okay. We're double B people. We're so chill and easygoing that we're just like, you know what? It is what it is. It's fine. Like, it's not the end of the day. If our food's not how we wanted it, if it's not what we ordered, if it's not really that great, it's fine. It's fine. It'll be okay. So you'll never see me throw a fit or complain about my food at a restaurant or my drink. I shared this on Instagram a few months ago. You'll never see me wear the trouser shorts. Those were a thing last summer. The shorts that like touch your kneecap, like jean ones, or like even they were kind of like a trouser checkered material. You'll never see me wear them. I know there's women out there who love them and it was the in style, but I have yet to see anyone that I loved them on. I'm not a fan. I don't think they're flattering. I think that you'll just never see me wear them or own them. And I know there's a lot. Oh, for instance, I shared my my little quilt coat that I got at the thrift store the other day for $3. And I loved it. I think it's so cute. And there were so many on Instagram people who were like, cute for you. I would never buy that. Totally fine. I wasn't offended. That's fine. Like, then it was made for me, right? So there's trouser shorts out there for those of you who love them. Rock them. But I don't like them. You're not going to see me wear them. But truly, that's what I love about fashion, is that like we all love different things and we can all have our own style and things like that. And again, I know there's stuff that I wear that you do not like, you probably don't like, and you don't think it's cute. That's okay. That's part of life. We can all just enjoy them, but you'll never see Hailey wearing trouser shorts. I think that's what they're called. They're like the super long shorts. You will never see Hailey living in a big city. And it's funny because I live in a town of 300 people. Okay. I have my whole life. Like, I was born and raised here. Now I live here. The only time I lived in a town of thousands of people was during beauty school. So that was about 18 months. I lived in Sioux Falls, which is like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how many people are in Sioux Falls. A couple 100,000, I think. And that's like the big city by us, okay? And it was fine because I was like in college. I didn't have kids, anything like that. But right now, there's no way you could pay me. You could give me a free $4 million house in a big city. And I'm talking big city, like I don't want anything over, if I had to live like within 3 miles of it, I don't want it bigger than 10,000 people. If I had to pick, I want it 300 people. That's why I live where I live. But you could not pay me to move to like a big town, a big city. I would never move to like Kansas City, or I would never move to Sioux Falls. I would never move to, I want to be in the middle of nowhere. I don't think lots of people scare me. Like, I think crowds are scary these days. And I just think bad things happen when too many people get together and there's too many people in one area, and it's scary, and then it becomes crazy. And I just like to be in my small little town, and I like to be in the middle of nowhere. And I like to just have my people, my 4 people right here where we're content and happy and we're away from the crazy. So, you'll never, ever see Hailey living in or near a big city. 2 more. You will never, ever see Hailey get on a private plane. I'm scared of big planes, like commercial planes, and then 10x that for private planes, like smaller ones. I've just heard too many terrible things. I think they're cursed. I think they're extra dangerous. And you could not pay me to get on a 6-seater plane. No way. Or an 8-seater. Nope. Couldn't do it. And lastly, you will never, ever, ever, ever see Hailey own a cat. No way. No way. I have had a cat phobia since I was a little girl. My mom said I've always been this way. Cats give me the biggest ick ever. Kittens make me nauseous. I don't know. People think I'm psycho. People think I'm crazy. But a kitten will make me want to vomit all over the place. Like, if there was a kitten right there, I would be holding puke in my mouth. I would be so on edge. I wouldn't be able to sit here. Like, there is something about cats, and especially kittens, that they're just like the worst thing in the world to me. I don't know. And I'm sorry for all you cat people. I'm glad there's cat people. People need to love on them, but I cannot. I cannot. They're a major no for me. I kid you not. I would hold a snake before I would hold a kitten. Like, that is the level of creepy, gibbery crawlies that they give me, and I can't explain it. I don't know why. It's not like one day I was bit by one or anything like that. Like, I was just I was born this way. My mom said I was born this way, and I can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't do cats. So anyway, that's all I got, guys. That was kind of random. I'm curious if any of you like agree with any of that, or maybe like disagree. Like, you're crazy for not getting on a private plane. We have one and it's incredible. Or obviously all you cat people are like, you're insane. They're the best. But yeah. That's all I got. Okay, next week I will probably share that episode about, I know I had several people asking when I was going to do that, and looking forward to it. So I will share that next week. But thank you guys for listening. You guys, and seriously, first of all, if you're listening, if you would want to leave like a review, and make sure you follow me on like Spotify, YouTube, Apple, like that, just, I don't know, it helps me get my podcast out there, and I just appreciate it. I still think it's bizarre that people like choose to turn my voice on and listen to me blab. And seriously, my favorite messages on Instagram are the ones where people say, I just listened to your podcast and I love it. And it makes me feel like I'm listening to my best friend chat. Like, those make my day, not even kidding. So thank you to those of you who are supporting me and listening. And I just truly feel like when I'm sitting here talking, like I'm talking to my little podcast chat friends, and it's the best. And so that was the goal with this podcast. I said that from the very beginning, is I just envision it being a podcast where it's like we text all the time, but we finally met up in a coffee shop and we got away from the kids and we're able to just sit down and chat with coffee. And if we look at the time and 3 hours has gone by because we just can't stop catching up and chatting about anything and everything. And we just keep saying like, gosh, I'm so glad we did this. Like, you know what I mean? Like those chats where you finally meet up with your bestie, kid free, and you can just sit down and just talk about anything and everything, share with your bestie. That's what I like wanted this podcast to feel like. And when you guys like share that that's what it feels like to you, it's like the best compliment ever and the best message ever I could receive. So thank you so much. I'm done blabbing. We will see you next week, guys. Bye.